today out with prayer. So if you would join me in prayer. Father, I come to you, your humble servant. This testimony is a huge one for me amongst so many others. But God, I am coming to you asking you to remove the shame, remove the guilt, remove the weight, remove the condemnation, and add all of your peace, add all of your humility, add all of your understanding, all of your forgiveness, God, and allow it to reach others and help them. Allow them to find this as something to adhere to their own lives, even if they hadn't acted upon um, the feelings or the emotions or the thoughts or the curiosity, God. Allow this to stop them in the tracks and no longer consider these things, God. And I ask that you continue to strengthen me daily because this is a daily walk, a daily death. So please, Father, allow me to share all the details in which you would like for me to share. And if not, Lord, shut my mouth. Please. Not for show or entertainment. Shut my mouth if it's not of you. In your mighty Son's name, I pray this prayer. Amen and thank you. So, guys, today we are going to be talking about me leaving, unknowingly leaving the LGBTQ whatever community. I'm going to first start off by saying this. I didn't even know LGBTQ whatever else was a thing when I was actively participating in that lifestyle. I didn't even know like those letters and that saying and the like flag thing and all like that. I learned that the same year in which I left out of it. That's when I realized it was a thing. And I remember like having a moment with the woman that I was engaged to, talking about how um there is no such thing as gay or lesbian or something. I don't remember everything in detail, but I do remember having this conversation. So I have spoken to my husband about me sharing this testimony, and he agrees with me. He agrees that I can. He's permitted me to share this very vulnerable thing of my life, and having to like be open and just, hey, share it, like let it out, tell people. So from 20 from 2017 to 2021, I was in relationships with women. I didn't know, like, in full comprehension, like there was something wrong with it, but I knew it was like things that I wanted were not working from the relationship. And one of the main biggest thing is kids. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, y'all could have adopted, y'all could have did, in vitro, y'all could did sperm donors and all these things. But my thing is, just because you have found a solution to make something look like it works doesn't mean that it's right. So I don't need to be in a relationship with a woman for me to adopt. I can adopt as a single woman or a single mom. I can adopt with a husband. So, and then I won't go into too much detail on my thoughts and views as far as sperm donors and surrogates and all that stuff. I'm not going to go there. But the thing is that the main thing that I kept having an issue with while being actively in relationship with women was the fact that the children, I wanted more children. And for those of you who do know, I do have a daughter. She is amazing. Absolutely love her. And then the next thing is marriage. Like I wanted marriage, And when we were talking about getting married, it was like, so are you the husband? Am I the wife? Like, how does that work? Because these titles aren't meant for, like, you're not a man, so like you're not a husband. And so it was like that part about it made me think. And then what else was there? I can't remember everything that I was like feeling iffy about, but I'm just gonna go through and tell you guys my testimony. So I 2017 was the very first time that I like actually remember voluntarily allowing a woman to touch me. Like, she actually touched me. We were in her vehicle going somewhere fun, and she actually touched me in my private area. And at first it was like awkward because it just kind of like happened, you know, spontaneously, but I didn't like stop her. And I was like, okay. So, and I am grown at this time. I'm not a child. I am a grown woman at this time. And that night, like when we got back to my apartment from coming from out of town, we went somewhere fun to do something. Actually, I think it was like a water park we went to that day. And we kept back in town to my apartment. And that night, that is when we partook in physical intimacy. So, also, let me say this for those of you who know that I do have a daughter, and I am in my home. She is outside with dad right now. So she is not in here. She can't hear anything that I'm saying. I just want to put that out there. Like, her ears and her innocence is very much so intact and safe. And even with her absence, I still speak about it in a very clean and appropriate way, just because that's just how I talk, and I feel like it should be done that way anyways. I don't need to, like, you're adults, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need to be vulgar. I don't need to be, disgusting for you to, like, exactly what physical intimacy is. You know what being in a relationship with another woman is. Like, there's certain things that a woman and a woman can do in the confines of a bed that a man and a woman can't do, because they don't understand each other's bodies. So you're learning in a completely different way. But anyhow, so that night was the first night when I actually recall, like, okay, actually being intimate with a woman. Well, that was in 2017. Shortly after that happened, I moved to South Carolina, and I lived in South Carolina for 3 years. Now, the first year when I got there, um, I I'm a licensed cosmetologist in Georgia, so I was having a hard time trying to find a job in my field in South Carolina without having to go through reciprocity and switching over license. So I was like, well, Georgia borderline is like right there. So I would drive over the line to Pooler, Georgia, and I worked at a salon there. And while I was there, it was I don't know if you guys know what Smart Styles is. It's a salon that's within Walmart, and I loved it. I love my clients. I love the people that I worked with at that time were really awesome, except for the manager. I actually knew her from when I was in college, and then she became, like, some people just get jealous of you whenever clients start choosing you or more. So it turned into one of those situations. But one day I was, working on my tons of clients like I normally do and normally did. And this woman had came in, but she was, dressed very masculine. She had on, you know, um, what we would perceive to be like a very like male looking attire. So she comes in and she sits in my chair and she's talking to me. Keep in mind, I am already like not in a relationship with a woman, but I am being physically active with one. Um, and she comes in and she's talking to me about her girlfriend, which I figured was, I mean, the way she was dressed, I'm like, I already figured that, because it wasn't just like a simple thing. Like, she was hardcore decked out, mailing it. So she came in, she sat down in my chair, and she was telling me about how, her girlfriend like robs her of intimacy and this, that, and the other. And I was talking to her about um the guy who I was in a relationship with prior, and telling her one of the things that we have established in our, physical um world is, we ask each other, like, what do you like to be done, and this, that, and the other, and then we adhere to that. And if it's something that I'm okay, with you, doing to me, or me doing to you, then hey, we can go for it. That's good. That's awesome. Like, even in my marriage, that's just the communication that we have to discuss. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this thing, and it doesn't mean that I'm saying that this is a no-go for, people in the realm of the bedroom, because the Bible says that the bed of the wedded is undefiled. But that doesn't mean that, just because it's undefiled doesn't mean that I'm comfortable with it. You get what I'm saying? So my husband and I have that conversation, like, this is a, like, please don't do this, because my mind won't realize, like, it's you. I'm flashback. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling her that between this guy and I, and things like that, and she was like, no, she ain't like that. She act like she's old, and yeah, she is much older than me. And I mean, she's just, confiding, because when you're sitting in your barber's chair, your stylist, your hairstylist chair, your nail tech's chair, you just lay your life out. Like, that's what it's like, a whole nother line of work that we have to do on top of that. So she's just confiding in me, telling me what's going on, and I'm trying to be encouraging and sharing with her, like, no, you guys need to talk about this. Tell her, like, hey, I feel neglected in this, that, and the other kind of way. And she was like, wow, that, thank you for that. That really helped out. And she said, you know what? I'm going to have her come and see you. So she leaves, and then books an appointment for her girlfriend to see me. And so um, the appointment got booked. She comes in, and I like, when I saw her and I've already seen her girlfriend, I'm like, this ain't making, like, this ain't adding up, because she, like, when you see the appearance and you're like, nope, that bar definitely don't belong with that bar. I was like, this is why she's complaining. There was a big difference in appearance and self-care, and there was a big difference in attitude. Even when she came in there, into the Walmart salon, and I mean, immediately her attitude was so stuck up and so proud, like she had it all together. And I was just like, oh, mercy, I got my work cut out for me today. She was nice in some sense, but you can tell she was very prideful, very stuck up. And whenever I was doing her hair, asking her, doing the consultation, asking her what she was looking for, this, that, and the other. And she was talking to me about the same girl who was talking to me about her, and she's sharing, and it was a completely different story. She's like, oh yeah, our relationship's good, and all this, that, and the other. And she had as a daughter. And so it was just like a really full day of me learning about these two individuals. Well, she got my personal phone number. The not Well, no, both of them had my personal phone number. Yep. So both of them got my personal phone number to call me, because they was like, I'd rather just come to you personally for you to do my hair instead of coming up here to Walmart, because I also made house calls. So we here I am, at my apartment with the girl who is my best friend at the time. And I was telling her about these two individuals and everything like that. And the girl who I was, partaking in physical relations with, I'm trying to tell her, like, hey, I think I just want to take some time and step back. I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel right about, me and you and this, that, and the other. And two, she didn't want other people to know about her being attracted to women. So, like, the fact that she felt that way already, like, made me hardcore, like, turned off, and you know like, maybe, maybe you should go find somebody else and I need to rethink myself. And whenever I was at home telling my friend at the time about this, I got a text message from somebody, a random number. It's like, hey, this is such and such. You did my hair at Walmart, and I was wondering if you could do this. And she had sent me a picture off of Pinterest. And I was like, I looked because I've never had a Pinterest. That's not been my thing. I've never had a Pinterest account. But she sent it to me and it, pulled up on the web or whatever. And I was like, I'm a person, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I cannot do that hairstyle, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I can do it. But I will try it. I will put my foot out there and like, you know what, I'm gonna give it my best shot. So I told her, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I am not like a hair braider. Like I will braid your hair, but like being a hair braider is a completely different thing. Like that's all they do, and they can do, the braids from here all the way to China. I'm not doing that. For one, no. And two, no. And three, baby, no. I'm not doing that. That is too much. Like I like actually styling hair. At the hair shows, when you see like hair that's shaped like an animal, stuff like that, that's me. Like I like doing stuff like that. Also, have done highlights and, just simple styles. And like I said, I have a daughter. Her hair has been all kinds of different styles and colors, and mine has too. So I like those kinds of things. And I told her, I said, but this isn't that's not my field, but I can do design braids on your head. Like I can do that. And she was like, okay, what about just some simple plaits or something like that? And so she sent me a picture and I was like, yeah, we can do. And so she was like, can I come over this day, this, that, and the other? And how much is it? So she came over to my apartment, and I told her, I'm like, I apologize, I don't have a chair. We just moved in, like we just moved to South Carolina, so I don't have the chairs and all like that. And she said, no, it's fine. She's like, I don't care. I'll sit on the floor. She's like, the other girl who used to do my hair, I used to sit on the floor. And I was like, okay, sure. And so we had a movie going on, and I'm over there braiding her hair. And as I'm going through it, like I didn't even do the whole thing. Like as I'm going through it, because the way her hair was cut, she had like fade on the side and everything. I said, the way your hair is cut, this style doesn't look right. And so I was like, let's go to the bathroom and I'm gonna let you look at it. And so we went to the bathroom. She looked at it and she's like, you're right. She's like, this, no. I said, can I ask you something? She's like, yeah, sure. I said, can I just be creative and do your hair in a way that I think will fit, that looks great with your head shape and with the cut that you have and with, your appearance? And she was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to trust you to do it. So I did her hair that way. And I was like, man, this looks so good. Well, whenever I got to the other side, we're going through it. I didn't let her see anything. We're going through it. At a point in that conversation, she was telling me that like she was like leaving, she like left her girlfriend, like they're just roommates now and stuff like that. And so she was sitting on the floor. I'm doing the braids, and then like I told her, I said, turn around, let me see something for a moment. And so she turned around, like I'm sitting behind her. She's sitting on the floor in between my legs. Okay, can somebody please go in the comment? Um, my husband is watching. Honey, can you hear me? Am I skipping out on words? Can you let me know? Because I don't know. Honey. So I think it's reconnected now. I don't know what's going on. But so where I left off is we ended up kissing, and I'm finishing her hair, and I'm like, your hair looks amazing. And we could go to the bathroom so she can see her hair, and she is in love with it. She loves it so much. And she pays me. And I remember this. My boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, called at the time while she was there and was talking to me. And she later on told me, like, when I was talking to him, she kind of like got jealous of me talking to him, because she was already having feelings for me, like she already liked me in that way. And so it was, thank you, honey, thank you so much. And so it was very, very, like, it was very, very interesting how, like, everything progressed in our relationship. And so she leaves that night, and she tells me, like, oh, she likes it, this, that, and the other. I still love my hair, I'm wrapping it, this, that, and the other. And she was like, can I book with you like every 2 weeks to get my hair done? I was like, yeah, sure. So she started coming every 2 weeks to get her hair done. And it wasn't long after that where she and I are now, um like she came over to she brought a guy over who was like her he was kind of like her best friend. She brought him over to meet me, and we sat out on the balcony of the apartment, just talking and having a good time, and this, that, and the other, and hanging out. And then the other girl who I like broke things off with, she was just having a horrible meltdown, and like trying to, like make me feel guilty and stuff like that, which I should have, but she was trying to make me feel guilty about not being with her anymore. And then all of a sudden this other girl came in and she said, I thought you said you wanted time to yourself. And I was like, I did, what I'm saying? I did want time to myself, and I had it and everything like that. And she was like, well, who is this new girl? Da, da, da. And it just got really difficult to be, around her and friends with her, even outside of it. And so this is now 2018 when this is happened, and living in South Carolina. Now, from 2018 to 2018 to 2020, because 2020 is whenever, yeah. So from 2018 to 2020, this girl and I had been on and off, on and off, on and off. Nope, it was 2019. Yeah. So we have been on and off, on and off, on and off. And at one point in the relationship, so right after I had met this girl, my child got sick and was in hospital. She was diagnosed with juvenile dermatomyositis. And it was really tough for me. And the guy who I was dating at the time, we would still talk to each other, but he lived in Florida. And so he like kind of like left me hanging during that time. But he is still like somebody super important to me. I still love and care about him. My husband loves him. And we miss talking to him more than like we used to. But he had to like disappointed me at that time while my daughter was in the hospital. And this girl now is like showing up for me. She's being there very scarcely, because at the time she has to keep up the lie to me that her and this other girl are broken up, which I'm thinking is going on. I'm thinking like they're just roommates, whatever, but that's not the truth. She was with me and her together. So at one point in time, I was, we were talking, texting back and forth. She's coming over to my place. We're going out on dates together, all that kind of stuff, spending time together. Well, she asked me out to go to her sister's house, who lived out of town. So we went to her sister's house. I got to meet her sister, her family, and it was so nice. It was so lovely meeting them. But there were some things that I picked up on, from there, and it didn't sit right with me or whatever. But you try to like push stuff under the rug, which you shouldn't do. You should really like get stuff out in the open and uncover them, expose them too. So, but anyhow, I met her family, and it was shortly after that I'm dealing with my daughter in and out of the hospital. Like, we're admitted in and out of the hospital. And I was calling her, but it kept going to voicemail. And I was sitting in the bedroom of my apartment, And I was like, what's going on? Then I text and it was like the number, blocked. And then I was like, huh. I was like, well, let me try, the email. So I tried to email. I was like, what is going on? And it was like that for days. I did not hear from her for days. So I'm immediately depressed. I lost 20 pounds in literally 2 weeks, like days. I was really skinny, really, really skinny. And it got so bad that my depression was through the roof. I could not understand why she would, do that to me and this, that, and the other. And so I ended up seeing a counselor at the hospital because of how depressed I was and how heartbroken I was. And I remember the lady looked at me and she said, why are you putting yourself through this? And I'm like, I'm not doing this to me. She's doing this to me. But really, what that lady was trying to get me to see, like, no, Tiera, you're doing this to yourself. For one, you shouldn't be with a woman in the first place. So it was just awful, guys. Awful. I was so skinny. You could see my ribs, my face. It was so bad. My fingers were so skinny. I mean, I was just like a walking skeleton. It was so bad. Well, all throughout this time, I'm confused and everything, and she has like talked about marrying me and everything, and I'm just like, what is going on? Well, finally I get an email from her and she was like, hey, I'm out of town. And I was like, out of, yeah, I'm on vacation. I was like, vacation? And she was like, I think I'm gonna need some time. I'm like, what? She was on vacation with the other girl who she said she was not with. And actually, during that time while they were gone, she and her got married. I didn't know any of this. They went and got married during that time. Now, when she came back, she's emailing me. She's like putting boundaries with me and stuff like that, putting me in check basically because she got to control everything. And that's one thing I learned through our whole relationship. Like, she is a major control freak. She has to have the last word. She has to have everything her way, and everything needs to go according to how she desires it. And that's also a part of the witchcraft that we were in, that was cultivating that too within her and within myself. So whenever we got to that point, to that place where she was like, I'll let you start back calling me here soon. And I was like, why did you like stop? Like, why isn't your phone working? And she was like, I changed my phone number. What? What did I do that led to this? Like, you couldn't have just texted me or called me or came over and said, hey, I think we're done. This, that, and the other. You had to be shady about it. You had to change your phone number instead of speaking to me. Like, that is so childish. That's like, you're not being an adult, for one. And she is much older than me. I'm talking like 20, I think it was 18 years. We were apart 18 or 17 years. I think it was 18 that we were apart. And she was acting like that. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, you could have just told me this instead of changing your number and going off at town and getting married. And I didn't know about the getting married thing until way later on. Like, I'm talking years later. So this happened, and I am sick as a dog. I do not look human. And at this time, I am now like heavily in witchcraft along with her, but I didn't know it was witchcraft. I didn't know it was anything wrong with what we were doing. And then there's these people that were like, encouraging me, like, oh, just give her another chance and this, that, and the other. And of course, those people were her family. And so I'm just like, no, like, she treats me horribly and I don't understand. And she's like, no, she really loves and cares about you. She really does. Just give her a chance. Just stick out with her, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, okay. Still, at this point, I don't know that she's went and married someone else. And so um now we are at let's see, now we're at the place where I have like reached a brink and patience with the girl who was my friend at the time. So I'm like, we can get different apartments, but we need to be close to each other because I help you and you help me. But as far as us living together, we need to get different apartments. And so we found some apartments. Her apartment was above mine. I was on the bottom floor. And we were still, still really close. But there was just certain things that just kept on sparking in me concerning her and stuff like that. And so, and then there was a difference in lifestyles too. So at this point now, I am a correctional officer at the prison. I work at a prison, and I'm in there dealing with these guys, like I was telling you guys the other night. I'm dealing with these guys every day at work and looking at how they maneuver, at how they think, and all these things. And there was this girl there who also very masculine, and also was in um well, she had came out of a relationship with a girl, but she was interested, and she and I ended up hanging out with each other one night, and we became like full to the point like she actually moved in to my apartment for it was probably several months. It wasn't even a year. It was several months. Um Yeah, because before my daughter turned another age, she was already out. Like we weren't even together anymore. So for several months, she lived with me in my apartment, and that was like actually like my first time, like for real, living with someone I was in a relationship with. So she and I were definitely physically intimate, and things happened between her and I actually even she and I wanted a baby, and we ordered sperm from a sperm donor, actually 2 vials. We paid for 2 vials to be able to try and have a child, and we did that. It didn't take, thank the Lord, it did not take. I did not, become pregnant from that. And then we actually ended up not being together shortly after that. And guess who comes back into the picture? That ex girl, not the very first one, but the second one who actually got married, that I didn't know about still yet. And so she comes back into the picture, and she was like, maybe we could start over. So she and I started a spiritual mental sickness in our world today. This male and male attraction, and female attraction. And anyhow, so I think y'all can hear me. I think it's come back on. It looks like it's reconnected. But anyhow, so she comes back into the picture. We're dating, we're spending time with each other and everything. Then she proposes to me, and she actually asked one of my family members to help her propose to me, but then she went on ahead and did it without, the family member or whatever. And she proposes to me, and I'm overjoyed about it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, yes. So we plan to, go to the courthouse or whatever. And I have a dress already ready for me, and Skeeter a dress, and we're like, we're gonna get you, a fit or whatever. Well, the next day is when we were supposed to go do that, and then she like changed her mind. Like she brought me a ring and everything, and then she changed her mind, and I'm like, what? But I didn't know she changed her mind because she was already married. Like she went and got married while we were together. And like I said, I didn't know this at the time. So then she changed her mind about that. This has happened, I think maybe 4 or 5 times. Like that's how many times she had proposed to me and then changed her mind. Proposed and then changed her mind. Said we're gonna get married and then changed her mind. And I'm talking hardcore changed her mind. And she was like, I have a right to change my mind, but you're playing with my feelings. Like, no, you're trying to make everything about you. And I'm like, this is about me. You're proposing to me. So it just was a never ending, indecisive battle with her. And she, for her age, you would think she would have been more mature, more sound, and everything like that. But it wasn't. Like, even when I look back now, I'm just like, she was very controlling. She lacked maturity as far as like making adult decisions and things like that, and being firm and confident in them. Like, it's like, as much as she tried to force down my throat how confident she was in being herself, she was not confident in being herself, and putting forth, that foot to be firm in her decisions. So then, it is now, I'm done with her. I can't do this because she's partaking in some inappropriate conversation and virtual, um what is this stuff called, ayahuasca journeys with this lady that I am not liking and I don't agree with, and I'm like, I'm done. And keep in mind, now this is someone who like lived about, I think, 15-20 minutes away from me, and I would get up, go to the store, buy a basket, put fruits in it, put her favorite coffee things in there, like a little teddy bear and some flowers and stuff like that in there. And then I would drive all the way to her house at night, put that basket in front of her apartment door, and then I would just drive back home. Like, I didn't even knock on the door. I didn't tell her nothing. Like, I put it there and I'd go back home. So when she woke up in the morning, there it was. She would see that. And I did that for her regularly. And other things that are very inappropriate, like I told you, like when we would be intimate, like I would see Egyptian hieroglyphics, and we would have like dancing thing. It was, kundalini and tantric and all that stuff. We was practicing all of that stuff, and when meditating and yoga and all of those different kinds of things together. In the movies we would watch, oh, they were just nasty and demonic, but I kept, like, I couldn't even watch them, and I would tell her, I'm like, I can't watch that because it was just so gruesome for me. But she would watch them, and then I'm like sitting there with my head turned looking at her, and then I peek and catch a little bit, and then when I'm like this and then peek, and so there was just so much that she had introduced into my spirit, so much she had introduced into my character, just with that, with the relationship that we were having, when I probably should have been I should have been ministering to her, bringing her to Christ, and that's not what happened. I was drawn the other way. Well, now we come into 2020, where I'm not talking to her at all. I mean, I've let her go. She walked out, like, I've let her go. This is good. I'm done. And I'm not even being intimate with anybody at all. I'm not entertaining anyone. I'm just like, it's just me and, my daughter. Well, then I'm working at a wax center. I left from the prison as a correctional officer. I left there, and I'm working at the wax center, and this girl comes in there, and we connected and everything, had a good time. And the sister came in at a latter time, and she and I, had a good talk and connected or whatever. Well, the older sister, the first one, she's the one who I met first. She had gotten my phone number, and she invited me to her sister, who came to me the second time. She invited me to her birthday party at her house. And at this time, yeah, I was still in the relationship with the other one. So I was like leaving the relationship with her. Like, she was still at the house or whatever. So I went to her birthday party with her at the time. But what was really going on is her sister was attracted to me. And that, like, I found out that later on as we grew closer and we partook in the physical activities and things like that. I don't know if you say activities, but that I didn't know. And this is why I don't answer random numbers anymore. If it's not saved in my phone, I'm not answering you. Like, that's like, no. So she called me from a number that I didn't recognize because she wasn't saved in my phone anymore. And she had changed her number that time before, so I didn't know her number by heart. So I looked at it, and I was sitting at breakfast with the one sister, and I answered it, and I'm like, "Hello," and she was like, "Hey, Tiera," like I don't remember everything verbatim, like this is paraphrasing. She's like, "Hey, Tiera, it's me or whatever," and she's like, "Are you, was this a bad time to call you? Are you busy?" And I'm like, "I'm just out at breakfast with, a friend or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, I apologize, and I apologize for calling you. I didn't mean to interrupt." She's like, "I was just, wanted to talk to you and hear your voice. I miss you and everything like that." And I didn't even realize it was her at first. I had to pick up on the voice. Like that's how, long it had been since we had spoken. And so, um, well, finally I picked up on it. She was like, "Well, I would really like to see you, you know, um, if that's okay." Yeah, that's fine. Um, Nothing real deep into it. So later on, she comes over to our new house. We moved in. That we actually moved in on the 1st of January, 2021. The 1st of January, we were like standing at the door holding the keys to the house, and the lady had came and all like that and took the picture of us, and it was really nice. So shortly after that, she came over there to the house, saw the house, and she was like, "Wow, this is a really nice house. I'm proud of you and everything." And then she was like, "Why don't you come over to my apartment and I can cook you a dinner and everything like that, and we could just talk." And I was like, "Okay." And I full on like thinking I'm going over there and that's all that was going to happen. That ain't all that happened. Like that's not all that happened. We ended up in the room. That's exactly what happened. We ended up in the room, and we were in the living room too. Like it didn't matter. We were everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so, and there's that again. We're starting back with her again. And it just went on like that. Oh, now, and I'm thinking that she's not talking to this lady who is leading her in the journeys with ayahuasca and doing all of the different virtual worlds of, her trying to channel her masculine energy and actually part like in this world on whatever app this was. I don't even understand it. But this app or whatever website, something where people can go in and literally you like have to like tap buttons and you walk up to people and ask them, can you be intimate with them on the thing. You physically are just sitting there, but you go in and you do this. And she was like, "Yeah, she's showing me, like, helping me open up my masculine energy, helping me become more of a man. And also wanting me to embrace my femininity." So she started buying perfume and all this stuff, but also trying to be a man. And it was so confusing at first. And I was like, okay, well, anyhow, she's still doing that. Now, this lady has written a book, and I told you guys about this the other day when not the other day, but last month, whenever we talked about me coming out of witchcraft. She wrote this book, and um, she calls herself like the Holy Spirit. Like she's the beloved of God. She's the Holy Mother. She's the Christed bride. And I'm just like now that I'm in the word the right way and I know what is godly and not, I'm like, this is demonic. This is evil. And how dumb can you be, like, to think that you of a human are the Holy Spirit when it's clear that the Holy Spirit is in all of us? You can't be standing there like that. That completely defies what the gospel says the Holy Spirit is and who the Holy Spirit is. And the Holy Spirit is a he, not a she. So like that you already just like, but then I didn't understand that. I didn't, fully grasp that and know that to be able to combat it. But here it is. She wrote this book, and the girl who's my girlfriend, she's like, "You need to get it." But she wouldn't call herself my girlfriend. She wouldn't marry me. And actually, later on, during this time, her and this situation literally broke my heart. Like it broke my heart so much. So her brother came and visited her from her hometown. And on the way back home, he died on the on the train. It just like that was a huge, I don't think she realized like how much that hurt me, how much that affected me when that happened. Um when Yeah, like that just blew my mind how that happened, because he died on the train on the way back home. And it hurt her too, but she didn't want comfort from me. She wanted it from, the beloved, the her. So she was getting all the, comfort she needs from her, and this, that, and the other. And I told her, I was like, I'm tired of this. Like, you care more about this woman than me, and you're saying that y'all not doing anything, but you're telling me that she believes you are the resurrected son of Horus or whatever, and she's Isis, and y'all are gonna, she put your, private area, a penis, back on you, and y'all gonna have a baby and all this. And like, I have no idea how anybody, like, we talk, but it ain't. I'm not feeling her, um, because for years she's let me down, and so she now messages me and let me know she need to talk to me, because she's getting ready to move across the world to go be close to that same Christed bride, that same holy mother, that person. And I'm like, what about us? And she was like, oh, you can move there when you're ready. And I'm like, what? What? And she was like, you're not ready, and I can't be waiting around. And I'm like, you're telling me so who's supposed to tell me when I am ready? Like, if I can tell you that I'm ready, you have asked me to marry you multiple times, and you have changed your mind, and you're telling me I'm the one not ready. And now you're moving to another state to go be closer to this woman, and you still look at me and you say I'm not ready. Have you lost your wits? Yes, you have. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be so nice about this. I'm not gonna give her no havoc. I help her pack up her house, her apartment. I help her load it up on the U-Haul. I gave her some gas money because she was needing some gas money. I gave her some gas money, um, to, help her on her trip. And the day that she drove off, I was like, wow, she really like never cared about, like, she used me for exactly what she needed me for. And then she left. And that next day, the day after she left, that very next morning, I got into my first car wreck ever. And then that was in August when she left. I got into my first car wreck. We were supposed to get married, like have an actual nice wedding on April 10th, 2021. Her deceased mother's birthday was April 10th, and so we were going to get married on April 10th, 2021, like in the like reverence or whatever. And August, it was in August of 2021 when she moved away. So come November, it was my daughter getting ready to turn 7, and COVID like had messed up a lot of things, so a lot of venues weren't open and stuff like that, because she wanted to have a ball, but I couldn't get in with none of the event centers. So I asked her. I said, "Well, what else would you like to do?" And she asked me if she could see snow. And so immediately then, my friends and I, we started looking around, and that's when I booked us tickets to go to Denver, Colorado for her birthday to see snow. And we did a bunch of cool things there. We had a great time. This ex of mine, she's gone to Arizona, completely across the way. I'm living in Georgia at the time, so Arizona to Georgia, that's across the way. And so she barely messaged me. and I barely messaged her. And actually, by this time of my daughter going to Denver, Colorado, I mean, we barely spoke a word to each other. And I ended up working at Walmart um, October either the 27th or the 28th, somewhere around there. Or it's the 17th and the 18th. It ends with an 8 and a 7. So, an 8 or a 7. But either the 17th or the 18th or the 27th or the 28th, I started working at the Walmart. And this other girl who started working at the Walmart there. Now, I know y'all heard me tell this little piece here that I'm getting ready to tell you. Y'all heard me tell this last month, and you're like, but that's how you came out of witchcraft. Well, it's the same way I came out of witchcraft. I also came out of being in a relationship with women. And that same story. She and I ended up working at Walmart together. This girl I never met her before, and we ended up working at Walmart together. And I actually applied for the Walmart that was down for the house, but it ended up going to that Walmart. So it was like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, it's still close to dropping my daughter off at school, so that'll work. So the first day I worked with this girl, we were standing in front of the dairy area, and we were pickers. But instead of us picking, they had us stalking. And so we were all just standing around talking, waiting for them to come. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just standing there. And the other girl that I'm talking about, she was just standing there. And then there was a group of other people standing there talking. And she walks up in there, and she walks in their circle, and she was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, if it's not about God, it's not important. And I'm like, I looked at her like, I'm not even in the circle. Like, I'm standing off. And I looked at her, and I'm like, bro, she need to chill. Like, in my head, I'm like, she need to chill out. Like, what's her problem? Like, they ain't even talking to her. Like, mind your business. And so I thought that about this girl. Later on, whenever I came back from my daughter's birthday vacation in Denver, Colorado, because like that was before we went. When I came back from her birthday vacation in Denver, Colorado, they had us doing more stalking, and they were putting us in pairs and sending us to whatever area. Well, it ended up me getting paired with this girl who was asking him what they talking about, and I was just like, Lord, here we go. And well, I didn't say Lord, but y'all know what I mean. But I was like, here we go. So I get with her, and we're on the aisle, and we're just unboxing, and she looks at me and she says, so tell me about your faith. What's your faith? And I told her, like, oh yeah, I believe in God, and Jesus is so important to me, and yeah, I go to church and this, that, and the other. And she was like, do you, what do you think about crystals and angel numbers and all that stuff? And I told her, I was like, yeah, I make sure my chakras are aligned, and I'm raising my higher power and my vibrations and this, that, and the other. I mean, I'm just laying it all out, looking at this girl like, this is right, this is normal, this is a good thing. And she looks at me, no kind of judgment, no, like, she was just so kind. And she says, do you mind if I send you a video? Would you watch it? And she's like, don't think nothing of it. If you don't like it, it's okay. But she's like, can I send you a video? And I said, yeah, sure. And so we switched numbers right then, and she went on ahead and sent it to me immediately. And she was like, just watch it later. And I was like, okay. And so she just kept talking to me about God. And I have grown up with Baptist parents and a Seventh-day Adventist parent. And that, like, I knew all these things, but nobody talked to me about God and the Bible the way she did. And she was passionate about it, and she cared, and she loves him. She still does. She loves him, and she just spoke so wise about him, and in such a way that drew me. Like, I wanted to know him, to know what she knew about God, And I got off of work that day. I went and picked my baby up from school, drove home, and I owned my own spa, so I had clients. I liked working at Walmart during the day while my daughter was at school, and then at night I ran my own business, owned a spa, and I had clients that were booked up. So I took care of them, and I was getting ready to do my video where I do my meditations and raising my vibrations and my chants and all that with my sage and Palo Santo and stuff. So I was getting ready to watch that from that guy, but a voice said to me, which I will still say to this day, I believe the Lord said to me, he spoke to me, and he said, watch the video that girl sent you. And I said, okay, like out loud. I was like, okay. And because I was a testimonial one specific he had done while being in New Age witchcraft, while being in witchcraft itself, not just New Age. Like there's all kinds of witchcraft that we cannot even comprehend. One of the things she ended up doing because of it was being in relationship with women, partaking in physical intimacy with women. And it got me. It got my attention because I'm like, I'm doing that. I did that. And I immediately fell on my face. And I'm not going to go back through that whole thing, but I immediately fell on my face, y'all. I remember I was off of that bed. Oh my goodness. And my knee, I hit that floor and I was off of that bed. Oh my goodness. And my knee, I hit that floor and I was sobbing. I remember holding my tears in my hand because of how I was holding my tears in my hand. It was so life right then and there. And I'm thankful that I'm not the same. And when I look at people today who are in same gender relationships and they think that it's good and that they're doing the right thing, and they're out here trying to force it down kids' heads, like if you want to do that, you mess up, you sin by yourself. Stop getting people to join your bandwagon. Like do it yourself. Stop forcing it down innocent children's head. And when you're doing it, why do you have to be dressed and naked? Like what about that is appropriate for a child? And you have parents who literally will fuss at a man who's holding a Bible in his hand, coming into these same places as this is going on, trying to preach to the children, saying, sir, our kids are here with a drag queen, half naked, leotard, ball sack, bulging and protruding out. And they're like, no, we want our kids to listen to that. That's the sickness I'm talking about. What happened to us parents caring about what's inappropriate for our children? Coming out of the LGBTQ, whatever community, that's not even a community. It is a invisible prison. Coming out of that prison was such a blessing for me because I did not realize something was wrong. I did not realize what I was doing was wrong, even though I felt wrong, and it didn't bring me any kind of blessings other than being able to testify this and being able to help all other people out of that lifestyle. I'm just like, that is just sickness, mental, spiritual sickness. And they will make you think that they're the most confident, bold people in the world, when the reason that they're in that lifestyle is because of their insecurities. You look in the mirror at a woman and you say, I am a man. What can be more delusional and insecure about that? You literally look at your birth certificate that has it checked as a male and you try to force yourself to believe you are a woman. And it's like, what is truth? What is truth now? Truth is depicted upon your emotions or your perceptions. The thing is that that's not how truth works. Because if it did, right now, I got this box of brownies right here. And I'm going to be like, honey, we're going to eat brownies for dessert tonight. And the box opens up. And literally these little things right here become like lips. This box opens up and it says, I'm not brownies. I'm a box of carrots. Mr. Brownie Box. No, You're full on a box of brownies, but humans will sit there and try to make you think this is a box of carrots. There's there's no way. Like there's nothing even carroty about it. Not even the same color. And they will try to make you think, yes, I am a woman when they're a man. I am a man when they are a woman. I am a cat. Like, where are we going to? We're not progressing at all. At all as a human race. I wonder sometimes if animals look at it and like, these fools, these idiots, what are they doing? And then because animals live in these certain kinds of kingdoms and hierarchies and harems, people are trying to mimic the animal kingdom. And so you are mankind. You're supposed to have dominion over the animal kingdom, not be trying to adapt to their ways and bring it into the human being world. No, that's not how it works. Like, oh well, monkeys get to have 700 wives, and monkeys, a male monkey may be physical with a male monkey and a female monkey. Okay. Oh, great to know. Thank you for the science lesson, but that is not what we're supposed to be doing. Not what we're supposed to be doing. And no matter what kind of solution you find for things to work, doesn't just because it has equal and we're going to be accepting and including. Why much so now that you are changing my pronouns? Because if before it was just like for men who want to be women calling themselves, a woman, but now they got to identify us women who are born as women. Nothing we could change about it. They're calling us cis women. Don't you understand by you saying that you're still actually agreeing to that you're a man? You're still identifying yourself as a man because you call me a cis woman or you call me a biological woman. You're still identifying yourself as a man while trying to debunk, while trying to confuse everybody else along with your confusion that you are a woman. You're still saying man. When you say I am a transgender woman, you're still wrong because a transgender, which means someone who is going from one gender to another, whether it's chemically, surgically, whatever you're doing. To be a transgender woman, which is as a woman who dresses like a man, because her root gender is woman. So you say transgender woman. So when you say that you're a transgender woman, you're still wrong. You're still wrong because you're not biologically a woman. You can't say you're a transgender woman. You'd have to say you're a transgender man. And women who are saying that they're a transgender man, you can't say that because if that's so, then you would identify as a man. A man cannot say he's a transgender woman if his root gender, his birth gender is not a woman. You don't say that. And like, where is the truth at in the world now? Where is it at in the world now? Oh, I'm going to drink water from this cup. What if my cup decides that on today it's not going to be a cup, it's going to be a plate? Even though it's still in this form, I can break the handle off of here. My husband's got some tools out there. I can have him break this handle off. I can have him melt this down into a plate. That way it can hold my food on it and change the form of this. But guess what? Its origin is still a cup. So it wouldn't be a transformed plate. No, it would be a transformed cup because it started out as a cup. This wouldn't be a transformed box of carrots, which I literally can cook this, let it cool down, take a little bit of milk and add that to it and form it up into the shape of a carrot and say, okay, guys, these are carrots when they're brownies, and can't say it's a transformed carrot. No, it's a transformed brownie. And it's going to taste like a brownie, even though it's got some form of a carrot, just like males going and taking their stuff and getting stuff tucked in. Whatever you're doing, Linda, whatever you're doing. Even though you go and get something cut off and you get something added and you get something taken away and you get something deep and you getting something higher and you getting something more hairy and something less hairy, the root, the origin, the beginning still is the same. Still is the same. What if everything in the world decided, what if God right now just said everything can talk? Walls could talk, paint could talk, paper, spoons, cups, dresses, head wraps. What if our hair could talk and said, no, I'm not going to be your hair today. Today, I'm going to be your foot. What if everything decided to be something that it's not and try to make everybody else believe that? We wouldn't have anything, because it'd just be a whole world of confusion, which is exactly where we're going, in the direction of confusion. And that's not of the Lord. And when I was in relationship with those women, that's what I was in confusion. And I was frustrated about that. And the enemy knows. Anybody who knows me knows I hate confusion. Understanding is key for me. I hate confusion. I hate little mix-ups and stuff like that. Doesn't mean I throw a tantrum or nothing like that, but I hate it. And I have to, sometimes if it according to what kind of confusion it is, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk off. Yes, this is truth. Accept the truth for the truth. Receive that. Because if you are okay with looking at somebody who is looking in their mirror, seeing one thing and lying to themselves and trying to go out and force the world to see what they see, you need prayer too. You need some clarity too. You need some breakthrough too. We have to stand up for the truth. And you people who are watching this that feel like you didn't know how to get out of that world, because there's people, believe it or not, there are people who are showing up to the pride parades. There are people who are showing up to the lesbian conferences or whatever they're doing, these parades, these parties, these there's a thing in Atlanta. It's called Lips, with the drag queens, all that. There's people, they're doing all this stuff, making it look like a party, making it look like a good thing and a good show. But my thing is this: if they can look at you and try to force you to see what they see, and you clearly see the truth, are they your friend? Should you be hanging out with them? Or should you be trying to share the gospel with them and share the truth with them, helping them to see that? And if it's not going anywhere, if you're seeing that there's a stunt in productivity, there's a stunt in growth, walk away. Do not bicker over little things. And the reason I say that's little, because everything that happens in this world starts from something small. And if you cannot get them to see that, yes, sir, you are a man. Yes, sir, you are a little boy. Yes, ma'am, you are a little girl. Yes, ma'am, you are a woman. You're going to have to take to the Lord in prayer and put them in his hands. Put them in his hands. But be loving and kind, and don't condemn them, because you're going to push them away from the one you're trying to draw them to. There's a way to do everything. And I specifically am thankful because there was a woman who looked at me And she did not condemn me. She said, "Can I share a video with you and you watch it? Don't think nothing of it. If you don't like it, that's okay." That is love. That is patience. That is kindness. That is grace that we all need. Even the men who wear heels, even the women who are walking around holding their jock like they got one. You don't, ma'am, that's a whole vagina. Like, no, no. We still must be loving. We still must be graceful. Someone was graceful with me. April 10th, 2021, I was going to have a wedding to a woman. July 15th, 2022, I married a man, a God-fearing man, my husband. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I'm not still on that roller coaster of emotions, that roller coaster of confusion and deception and lies and trying to make a puzzle piece fit when it doesn't fit. It wasn't even a puzzle piece. It was like blocks. And I'm showing up to a game of blocks with a puzzle piece. Like, that's how bad it is. And that's what I pray was caught. That everyone wanted to be heard is heard. And if it cut out in an area where the Lord didn't want something to be said, great. I'm not mad about it. Thank you, Lord, for that. But I'm going to pray and I'm going to get off of here, and I will see you guys in a couple days for W&P with Mrs. T, and that's me. I'm going to keep my eyes open for this prayer just because it's been having some reconnection problems, so I can see if it disconnects. But Abba, I come to you right now. This man, you are a good God. You are a mighty God. You are a heavenly Father because you still are in the saving business. Like, it's not like when you talk about dying of your flesh daily, one thing I think people don't even realize is that means saving daily. You save daily. It doesn't just happen one time and it's done and over with. You continuously save us from ourselves. You continuously save us from the jaws and the snares of the enemy. You continuously save us from the unseen that we can't see, but you can, God. And I'm so thankful for it. Thank you for drawing a lot of us who got out of that life of same gender attraction. Thank you for a lot of us who found ourselves happily single or found ourselves happily married to the opposite gender because you stepped in like a never-ending river of life, bringing life to the dead. Because when I was in there, Lord, you know I was dead. I looked dead. I walked dead. I thought deadly thoughts, Lord, and you brought never-ending living water rushing through my life, rushing through my heart, rushing through my mind. And Father, I'm asking you to do the same thing for any individual that's watching this. Just walk up in there, Father, with so much love, so much peace, and get ready to do the work in them. Make them your vessel. They already are. They don't know it, but you can bring light to that. You can bring light to that. We have just finished celebrating Hanukkah, and it is about that light. God, take that light into every person's home where a man is lying with another man. Every person's home where a man is lying with a young boy. Every person's home where a man is lying with a young girl. Every person's home where a woman is lying with a woman. Every person's home where a woman is lying with a young girl. Every person's home where a woman is lying with a young boy. Every person's home where a young boy and a young man are together. A young boy and another young boy are together. And a young girl and another young girl are together, God. Allow it to stop. Allow it to be washed away completely. All of the filth, all of the pedophilia, all of the iniquity, all of the lust, all of the defilement, all of the rape. God, remove it like that today. Like that today. Show up in their home. Show up in their home. You got to take their eyes, take it so that they can truly see. You have to make some kind of ailment to where they can't physically be um, active and partaking in physical intimacy anymore. Take it. Do it, Lord. Stop them. Stop them, Lord, so that they will have to turn to you. Bring them to that low point, like you did me in that room. Bring them to that low point and change their life for you, for the better, and for every child that's watching them, for the generations that have yet to come, for the generations that are not even in thought process yet, Lord. Please. And thank you for giving me this testimony. I know it's not pretty like a lot of people like, but I ain't about trying to be pretty. I'm just trying about being holy for you. In the mighty name, I pray. Amen and thank you. Good night, guys. I really do apologize for the connection issues. But if it was Lord's will, it was the Lord's will. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. And let me know. Let me know how this may have helped or helped someone that you've shared this with. Good night and God bless you.